Hi, my name is Madibu Mutsabi, and I intend to bring to you these kinds of videos every single day. Like, share, and subscribe.
Introducing It's Time to Moving On Without You. How to survive ending a long-term relationship. Ending a relationship can be a very painful and difficult process, especially if the relationship was long-term. It is important for us to be happy with our lives, and if your partner is not making you happy, it may be time to move on. Below are some tips on how to end a relationship the right way. Chapter 1. Introduction. Synopsis. Do you want to end your relationship with a lover or spouse? If so, you need to know the etiquette of ending a relationship. Believe it or not, there are some rules about ending a relationship. The basics. If you've been with your girlfriend or boyfriend for a long time, it is important that you take things slowly. You can't just send them an announcement in text saying it's over. In fact, this is the worst way to end a relationship, especially if you've been with them for 2 to 5 years. Usually, if you've been with someone for this long, they probably have many feelings for you. Remember that time creates precious memories of the other person, and if you are ready to move on, they might not feel the same way. This is exactly why you need to break it to them slowly. They might not realize there is a problem in the relationship. After a breakup, some people will feel extreme emotions like anxiety, depression, and even anger. Always take others' feelings seriously and do not toy with them. Breaking up should always be done in person, and if you want to avoid any drama, make sure it's done in a crowded area. You don't know if your partner will scream or cry. If they have a strong bond with you, you won't be able to avoid breaking their heart. People can be very sensitive. Without relationships, we won't be able to reproduce or carry on in our lives. That's not to say there aren't happily single people out there. Now, before you break up, you need to find out why you want to break up. You should already know the answer by now. You might want to move on because your partner has been treating you badly, or you've simply fallen in love with another person. Another example is getting married at a young age. In this case, you haven't tested the waters to find out your true soulmate. Don't deprive yourself of happiness by holding back. Discuss details when it comes to being around friends and family members. Decide on notifying both parties of the breakup. If they try to start an argument, stay calm. Still, if things escalate, let them know you have to leave. Tell them you don't wish to fight or cause a scene. Hopefully, they'll understand and calm down before you go. These are some of the most useful techniques to use when breaking up. Since you will be in an area with many people around, there is a small chance of having everything blow up in your face or having it escalate into an argument. Never bring a friend or family with you, though, because this will be extremely embarrassing for the other person you are breaking up with. Chapter 3. The A to Z tips of a bad relationship. Synopsis. We all know that in some relationships people tend to be persuasive, manipulative, and promising. If you are with someone who is like this, breaking up won't be easy. Don't be fooled. They will most likely approach you and tell you that everything will change back to the way things were before. It may even seem like they are sincere, with the bad habits fading away. Remember that this is all an act, and most people won't change unless they genuinely love you. If they are acting the same way with their friends and only put up an act for you, it's a positive sign they are not interested in changing. Some breakups are so devastating to the other person that they feel they cannot carry on in life. Their emotions begin to roll in and they are a mess. Without you in their life, they feel lost without you. With an ex like this, you need to take the matter seriously. If your ex mentions suicide, always take them seriously. Keep chatting with them in text while dialing the police. These people are extremely fragile when it comes to relationships. If they are faking it, your ex will quickly learn the consequences by not doing this again. Once a police is called, they will escort your ex to the nearest psychiatric ward, which is also used for preventing suicide. You will be happy to know that your ex is safe. In these types of places, they will bring the individual in a room with only a bed. There are no hard objects in the room that could be used for the suicide missions. Cameras are also in the room, with a live person monitoring them 24/7. They may keep the person in there for 24 hours or 1 week. Counseling sessions are available if your ex needs to talk with someone. If you have an ex that is manipulating, be careful of their ways. They have a lot of built-up anger they won't release, but they'll show it in their actions. Blackmail is used to frighten an ex who wants to move on in their lives. Most of the time, you won't be able to move on since you've built up a fear deep inside. You constantly worry what your ex may say or do to your friends in order to get you back. If you are in this situation, you'll need to take the risk. If they plan on doing something illegal when it comes to blackmail, make sure you notify authorities. These types of people are ruthless at best, and the best thing to do is avoid them completely. This means changing your phone number, switching work locations, and even transferring to another school. They obviously can't blackmail you if there is no contact. Be sure to inform family members not to take calls from your ex. Here are some A to Z tips of a bad relationship. These clues will help you get out quickly. Aggressiveness. By picking up warning signs of aggressiveness in a man, you'll stop yourself from entering into an abusive relationship. Men who are aggressive tend to grab your arm, force you to do things you don't want, and even push you to take action with something you don't want to have anything to do with. You think that this is just part of his personality, but it's really not. Blackmail. Most of the time, blackmail can lead to low self-esteem. Maybe when you and your ex were intimate, she took some revealing pictures of you in your underwear. She says that if you leave her, she will send these to every girl you know. Someone who really loved you would care about your emotions, even if they can't be with you. Low self-esteem. Being in a relationship that is physically or mentally abusive can dig a hole in your heart, causing low self-esteem. Instead of being the playful, cheery person you were before, you seem to walk around with your shoulders slumped down. You don't enjoy the things you used to do, and this low self-esteem will eventually lead to depression. Manipulation. Did you know that manipulation is the number one reason why men and women stay together? For example, if you tell your lady you want to leave her because of her bad habits, she will manipulate you just by making you feel guilty. The sad puppy face turns on and tears start rolling down her cheeks. She says that she will die without you, and you are afraid she'll do something foolish like committing suicide. Instead, get help for her right away and slowly move away. Don't tell her directly you are moving on, but just take some time to distance yourself from her. Mental abuse. Being mentally abused is no fun at all. Mental abuse often starts with name calling, being made fun of, and even humiliated in front of others. Let's say your boyfriend likes to call you names in front of his friends. He wants to appear manly and in control. In reality, this is not a guy who respects your feelings, and the mental abuse will get worse. Get out while you still can. Physical abuse. Both men and women can be physically abusive to one another. It doesn't just go for men. In fact, there are many women who hit their husbands out of anger. Physical abuse is serious, and if you are being abused, move far away. If you have bruises from the abuse, it is important to contact your local law enforcement. Don't let them treat you like this. There are plenty of good men and women out there who will give you the dignity and respect you deserve. Chapter 4. The strategies of ending a relationship without stress. Synopsis. The breakup process isn't easy these days unless you stick to a phone call or text. What you need to do instead is deal with everything in person. Never have a friend pass the message, and definitely don't write about it. These are some of the worst breakups we've ever seen. Make sure you set up a date to see your boyfriend or girlfriend, but don't give them any idea you're breaking up with them, otherwise they may not want to meet with you. Do it the right way. Here are tips on what not to do when breaking up. Never try to break up through a letter or text. Do not let your partner know you plan on breaking up before setting up a date. Never insult or raise your tone while breaking up. Avoid breaking up through a letter. Never tell friends you will break up until you tell your partner first. When breaking up, do not do it in front of other people you know well. Never create an official announcement that you're breaking up. These are definitely the worst ways to break up, and if you want to keep a friendship between the both of you, it is a good idea to stay respectful to that person. This will give you a chance of still having a healthy friendship with them and staying away from incidents that could result in stress. Let's face it, breaking up is awkward at best. Feelings someone has never had before can often surface, and it's easy to explode when you find out the girl or man of your dreams is leaving you. You will often feel deserted, sad, and lost. Chapter 5. Options for transitions, counseling and guidance. Synopsis. Every day hundreds of people break up for the wrong reasons. For example, you may be with a wonderful guy who cares deeply for you, but he doesn't show it through talking. You have noticed he is this way with everyone, even family members. Even though you guys have been together for 4 months, he still does not talk much. However, this guy is getting ready to propose to you because he is madly in love with you. Loving someone for who they are is called unconditional love. If he has a kind heart and always treats you well, you should think twice about breaking up. Here are some examples in transitions within relationships, guidance and counseling. Patch things up. Before we go over some of the events that could occur, let's talk about the importance of counseling. By seeing a relationship therapist every week, you'll be able to let out your frustration or disappointment without arguments. This is a safe way of discussing everything in a civilized manner. The counselor is there to record your progress and also make sure it doesn't erupt in a huge argument, which is what happens many times with couples. Most often, a man or a woman won't burst out because they are afraid of what the other person will think, which in this case, is the therapist. What about breaking up to pursue another person? This is the worst idea, although many people have done it. Your fiancé is a stressed out, stay-at-home mother who practically does everything when it comes to the house. She is incredible, sweet and outgoing. By the time you come home, she changes into another person. She is screaming at you and telling you that you need to contribute more. It's her way of saying, please, I need some help with the kids. She's stressed because she couldn't do a few things for herself today. Now, you've been talking with her friend that she used to work with. Her friend is incredibly beautiful and smart. You've always wanted to see where things could develop, so you are thinking of ending the relationship with your fiancé. Did it ever occur to you that when your fiancé started taking care of the kids from home is when she started stressing out? The same situation could happen with the new girl you like, especially if a serious relationship were to occur. Chapter 6. Tested relationship solutions. Synopsis. Even though you were the one to initiate the breakup, moving on may be incredibly difficult for you. Also, it is normal to have regrets about breaking up, and you might have to stop yourself from texting or calling your ex. Let's say you broke up because of the bad habits. Your boyfriend is always late, smokes all the time and curses at your family. You've tried to change his habits because you thought he could change. The sad fact is that he never will. Faith. However, all those things can't make up for how he treats your family. This is why you need to end it and move on. If you don't, your family may begin to ignore you and slowly move out of your life. A few tested relationship solutions that we recommend before moving on are listed below. Make sure you go everything carefully, as this could be your ticket to saving the relationship. Talking. Before you move on, you need to have the talk. Let him, her, know what direction you are headed for, and they'll definitely see how serious this is for you. Talking allows you to let out your frustrations and disappointment in a relationship. Tell them what habits you don't approve of and ask how they can change for you. Promises. If the two of you realize you are in a relationship that is not healthy, why not make promises to one another? For example, if your boyfriend disrespects you by calling you names out of anger, have him make a promise to not do this anymore. He'll ask you to stop making fun of him in front of his friends, and this will be your promise. Having a rule or boundaries between each other is a great help. Love. Do you feel like you are falling out of love with the person you are with? If so, you might want to try rekindling the magic and seeing what you can do to make it the way it was before when the two of you met. Why not bring back old memories and go to a restaurant the two of you used to visit? Make it special. Light candles or bring flowers if you want. This will definitely get the sparks flying again. Moving isn't something you can do within a few days. It takes months or even years to get over a significant one you love dearly, even if the breakup was your idea. Being trapped in a relationship you're not happy in will just make you want to escape. Besides, you've tried going to counseling with your spouse and even started going to church with them. No matter what you did, nothing made a difference. This is why you need to call it quits. If you tried everything and there are no more options, it's a dead end. Remember that it's not the end of the world. You will most likely meet someone new. To move on, you'll need to push yourself into newer activities. Go out more with your girlfriends. A girls' night out is always a great way to cheer yourself up, especially if you can't stop thinking about your ex. Why not put in a few extras hours for work? You can earn some extra money and take your mind off your ex. However, if he or she works at the same place as you, you'll probably need to look into other career opportunities. The most difficult time is at night. Your heart and mind will feel confused thinking of past memories. This is when you feel the need to call or text them. Instead of being sad and letting all your emotions roll in, pick up a good book. By reading each night, you will stop worrying about the other person and you'll be able to focus on your own needs. If you still have trouble moving on, it is a good idea to seek help from others through communication skills. You will be able to identify what's bothering you the most. If you do not have any friends to talk to or just feel uncomfortable, you can opt for psychiatric counseling. The psychiatrist is there to listen to your feelings and sometimes give advice on what to do. They will also monitor your progress and let you know if they see any positive changes. Also, while you get counseled, always keep a diary with you. As time goes by, you will be not as fixated on your ex as you were before. Chapter 7. How to react to good and wrong advice on ending a relationship. Synopsis. To react to good and wrong advice on ending a relationship, you need to be confident and aware of everything going on around you. Communication is also a factor when it comes to ending a relationship. Make sure you focus on these 3 things. Otherwise, when people tell you stick with a horrible relationship, it could go horribly wrong. Men and women often depart from relationships when they see it is no longer good for their mental and physical health. Taking advice. Here are some tips for when you decide ending a relationship is fit. Confidence. Having confidence that you can move on is very important. You probably feel like you can't love anyone else at this point, but this is not true. Time will slowly begin to heal you, allowing room for new relationships to develop. Instead of sulking in your room, get out of the house. Go ahead and join community activities such as volunteering. This is a great way to open up to other people and take your mind off things. There are many voluntary events such as gardening, picking up trash, joining a health center, and helping children in need. With confidence, you'll be sure that you will recover in a short amount of time. You just need to have faith in yourself. Awareness. Being aware of your feelings is your first step to getting better. If you skip it and hold back, you are holding out on your emotions. It's okay to cry every now and then. If you don't let out your feelings, you may still feel bitter or sad. It'll prevent you from moving on and taking control of your life. If you have a hard time being aware of your feelings, music will often help. Listen to music which have lyrics expressing deep emotion. You will begin to have the same emotions. 2. Communication. Being able to communicate with others will not only make you feel better, but you will also be able to move past this situation. By communicating with others, what you are doing is releasing any feelings you have. You can talk to your friends and family about what's going on. They'll give you advice or just be that person who will listen to. Normally, when we are acknowledged in life by others, it will open up a gate. The path which goes past this gate leads to peace, happiness, and harmony. Chapter 8. The benefits of satisfaction in a relationship. Synopsis. If you aren't certain about moving on, it's probably not a good idea to move in the first place. You need to determine if the relationship has potential and is worth saving. There are plenty of benefits of satisfaction within a relationship, and by moving on, you can't really learn about these benefits. Here are some tips on how you can get through everything and find the source of why all your issues keep surfacing. The person you are with might be really good for you, but you will need help first. Change is always possible, but you cannot do this with force. Positive encouragement for change is the best way to overcome relationship problems and help develop good habits for your significant other. The good things. Talking with your other half about any problems in the relationship is important when it comes to finding a solution. If they seem hesitant or not ready for any changes, you should consider moving on. If they do change, give them a chance. In the future, they might go back to their old ways, and once this happens, it is time to call it quits. You should be with someone who cares enough for you that they would be willing to change their habits. This is what love is all about: making sacrifices. Go through everything both of you are having problems with. It might not be for one major problem. Often, divorce results because of many small issues that tend to build up. Both of you may have anger towards one another and may even be retaliating. This is obviously not healthy for the relationship. To start making changes, tell your spouse what is bothering you. Chapter 9. The merits of moving on without him after a long-term relationship. Synopsis. Moving on without him can make you a stronger person in the future. Although moving on might be one of the most difficult things in your life, you will benefit from this move. If you are with someone who is aggressive, doesn't care about your emotions, and is selfish, this person isn't someone you'll want to be with. Moving on. The best thing about moving on is that you won't have him to emotionally drag you to the floor. If you're around someone who treats you badly, you will lose confidence in yourself. Surround yourself with people who are positive while moving on. You could hang out with a few girlfriends to boost your spirit. I'm sure they've been through situations of the same degree and can give you a helping hand. By staying with your ex, you might even become depressed. For example, if your boyfriend has already been unfaithful to you 3 times throughout the relationship, this will bring you down. You might even be thinking that there is something wrong with you. Am I pretty enough for him? The problem is not with you. Some men simply aren't ready to settle down and change their habits. If they are younger, this is very true. Now, this doesn't mean to go out and date other men. Instead, focus on yourself. How can you change yourself as a person and develop good habits? By doing things like going to school, showing up for work each day, and even volunteering in certain activities, you will be able to meet people who are interested in the same things as you. It's a good idea just to meet women, but if you have a few male friends along the way, this is fine too. Develop a few friendships instead of dating. You might be ready to date again in the future, and who knows, the guy who likes you might even be waiting for this day. Wrapping up. 20 reasons why you should move on without him. There are plenty of reasons on why you should move on without him. He may be holding you down in life from doing things in life that you'd like to do, or even prevent you from meeting a guy who's actually good for you. It doesn't matter if you are a young woman or an older woman. There is plenty of life ahead of us to see what's out there. A lot can happen in as little as a few months. Remember that sometimes we will move on for a reason. Even if you do not think you could move on from your boyfriend, it will get better. Time always mends the heart. Even if you miss him after a few years, you will meet someone else. By meeting someone else who is better for you and treats you well, you will then realize there are good men out there. They are hard to find, but if you begin hanging out with people who have good habits, you won't set yourself up for disappointment. Here are 20 reasons why you should move on and without him. 1. To experience new and better things in your life. 2. Live life to your fullest without having him drag you down. 3. Enjoy your friendships more. 4. Get to know yourself. 5. Focus on your career. 6. Focus on your education. 7. Mend your family life and build stronger family ties. 8. Being free from harassment and abuse. 9. Being free from someone who does not truly love you. 10. Have the chance to meet other guys that are good for you. 11. Develop a strong relationship with yourself, spiritual. 12. Begin to seek help from God. 13. Focus on health issues and any mental issues you may have. 14. Surround yourself with positive people. 15. Be able to identify your emotions. 16. Stop being controlled and manipulated. 17. Break free from a man with no respect for you. 18. Take charge in your life's goals. 19. Be able to concentrate on your career. 20. Establish a safe environment for yourself.
As you have subscribed, every time a new video is being uploaded, you will receive a new notification.